All right. We will call this meeting to order now at 6:01 p.m. Ms. Sheldon, can you please call the roll?
Mayor Stephanie Dalton.
Here.
Vice Mayor Holly Berry.
Here.
Commissioner Jamie Fairbanks Harvey.
Here.
Commissioner Terry Holmes.
Here.
Commissioner Hayes Wilkinson.
Thank you. For today's invocation, please join me in a moment of silence to reverently collect our thoughts, pray, and ready ourselves for this meeting and the duties to which we have been called. Thank you. And now we'll stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Mr. Granum, will you please lead us in the pledge?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. And next we'll have my mayor's report. Welcome everyone and our special guests tonight. We appreciate you all being here. Just a couple of things from me. Thank you to all of our volunteers who showed up for our rescheduled MLK Day of Service citywide cleanup. We had nearly 70 participants who collected over 10 cubic yards of trash, or roughly 3,000 pounds of trash, including a machete. A big thank you to our partners, Green Steps, for helping us to coordinate, support the event, and to be caffeinated for fueling our day with coffee and tea. Our next cleanup will be on April 26th for Earth Day. If you see an area that could use love and support, please email our Parks and Rec manager, Jeffrey Grabe, at jgrabe@redbanktn.gov to get it added to the next cleanup. And lastly, I just want to say I'm looking forward to our annual commissioners retreat coming up next Tuesday, the 25th. We'll review our city's mission and vision statements, perform an updated SWOT analysis, identify issues and priorities, and set goals for the upcoming year. And it will be open to the public, and I'm excited to talk about what's to come in fiscal year 26. And now we have our report from the Vice Mayor.
Thank you. Last reminder that this Saturday, March 1st, will be Red Bank's 4th annual Weed Wrangle Invasive Plant Removal event. This year, the location will be behind Gear Closet at 305 Signal Mountain Road, across from Baylor School, just inside Red Bank city limits. We'll convene around 9 a.m. and work on the bank of Stringer's Branch behind the building, removing primarily invasive privet, honeysuckle, and kudzu until about noon. Dress for rough terrain, pants, long sleeves, closed-toed shoes, and gloves are recommended. Experience is not required. This is a great opportunity to learn how to identify invasive plants and effective removal strategies that you can use on your own private property as well. Removing invasive plants is one of the best first steps you can take as an individual to improve the habitat quality of your yard for native plants and wildlife. I also look forward to our annual Commissioners Retreat next year. It's a great opportunity for all of Commission and staff to get on the same page with our goals and inform our budget, which the budget process will be following this Commission Retreat, and the goals that we set, and what we do or don't choose to, the goals that we choose to carry over will cause the staff to know what to do when they're putting their budgets together. And we do a budget every year, even when it's not an election year. And the state requires us to submit it by June. And so do stay tuned in the upcoming months this spring, especially through April and May as we go through that budget process. And finally, the next Red Bank Community Food Pantry is this Thursday, February 20th from 4:30 to 6 p.m. at Red Bank United Methodist.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Next, we have our report from Commissioner Fairbanks Harvey.
Thank you. Again, thank you for attending this evening, even with the chilly weather. As it is February Heart Month, I was glad to see that we had the opportunity to apply for some grant money for Project Diabetes, and as it's been chosen, it's the Godsey Trail that will be on the docket for us to apply. It's an interest to me because it's dealing with increased access to healthier foods and physical activity. So I'm excited to be a part of that and hope that it comes our way. There are many on the list that are already participating, like the community center and outreach for the built environment. I also attended the Red Bank Day of Service on Saturday, February 8th, and collected several bags just on our little strip of Linden Avenue. And it was very pleasing to know that the street is clearer of all the trash on Linden Avenue, just alone, to be a part of that. The next Listen and Learn will be Monday, March 17th at Sabor from 6 to 7 last night. Director Johnson came and educated the attendees about the capital improvement plan and how the budget can reflect sequencing requests with thoughtful input and organization. So she will return later in the year, but hope to see you in March. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Next, we have our report from Commissioner Holmes.
All right, good evening, everyone. So please take time to check the website, redbanktn.gov, for information and forms and meeting agendas and all kinds of information. The site recently had an update and is even more accessible. Also check with your neighbors and help them out if they need access to those forms and other information. I'm not sure if I can do this, but can we invite our high schoolers to these meetings so that they can be informed about city-related events and share information with their students and their parents? This helps them to learn about government and how it's structured and how they can be involved. Again, the planning retreat is February 25th, next week at 9 a.m. And also see the calendar of events on the website. It's a lot of events coming up in this between now and June, and try to attend those this spring or early summer.
Thank you. And finally, we have our report from Commissioner Wilkinson.
Good. Not too much to report here, but I do want to thank everybody for coming out tonight. I just wanted to kind of give a very quick rundown of my experience as doing a private rental at our community center. It was very positive. It was for my son's first birthday, so happy birthday to him. But yeah, the experience was very easy to book, getting access set up, and I just wanted to give a big shout out to our Parks Direct manager, Jeffrey Graby, and our facilities manager, Justin Hedrick, for just making that such a valuable asset for our city. Consider renting that for your next event. It's a really positive experience. So thank you.
Excellent. Thank you. Next, we have the city manager's report. Mr. Granum.
Good evening, Mayor and Commissioners. This morning, CFO Chris Pickle and I attended the Chattanooga Chamber of Commerce's annual Economic Outlook Breakfast with a presentation from the Vice President and Chief Economist of the Federal Reserve Bank of Atlanta, Dr. David Altig. That presentation was followed by a presentation from Dr. Howard Wall, the Director of the Center for Regional Economic Research at UTC. Our attendance at these important annual events signals that staff is fully underway in preparation for the FY26 budget cycle, which will start in earnest late next month. Stay tuned for more specific dates. Along those lines, we have a new feature to our website in the department's header under the Administration and Finance Department in the Finance tab. We now feature the FY26 budget development process. We will post new items there as we incrementally proceed through the budget cycle. The first document is already posted, and it is the Comptroller's memo sent to every municipality in the state, which is universally viewed as the starting point for every city's budget process. More to follow as we get going in the FY26 budget process. Lastly, in the past month, Director of Administration and Finance Tracy Perry, Chief Financial Officer Chris Pickle, and myself have visited the offices of the Hamilton County Assessor of Property, Marty Haynes and his staff, and the offices of the Hamilton County Trustee, Bill Hollander, and his staff. We were warmly received by both offices, and we continue to have to high functioning relationships with those key partners and their staffs at every level. As always, I encourage everyone to read our monthly newsletter, available on our website or delivered to your inbox if you subscribe. Check out our Red Bank TN Facebook page or our City of Red Bank Instagram to stay informed. Good things are happening. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Granum. Indeed, they are. A very good thing is about to happen. As our next agenda item is a presentation from the Red Bank and Saudi Daisy Charitable Foundation. Do I need to read that in full, Mr. Stolz? The caption of the presentation language, or just invite them up?
No, just announce it. It's
Okay.
fine.
All right.
However you prefer.
Okay, Ms. Baker, thank you for being here.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
I'm Patricia Baker, and this is Becky Browder, and we represent the Red Bank Saudi Daisy Charitable Foundation. Our foundation was formed when the Red Bank Community Hospital on Marsden Springs Road was sold to Erlanger in 1991. That's been a day or two ago. Some of us remember it well. Proceeds from that sale have been invested wisely over the last 34 years at the behest of two hospital board members, Arnold Stoltz Sr. from Saudi Daisy and Sam Swope of Red Bank. As a result of these two community leaders' vision and foresight, the bylaws of the foundation were created to provide an annual grant to the respective cities pursuant to the approval of the board. All grant funds are to be used for projects that would benefit all citizenry as a whole and not just a small group of individuals. The formation of this foundation has proven to be a successful model, showing that with proper and prudent management of the proceeds, the citizens of both these communities would benefit in perpetuity for generations to come. This collaboration between non-elected volunteers who have a heart for the betterment of this community and elected officials is a prime example of public and private entities working together so that all community residents benefit. And Red Bank certainly has benefited. With the receipt of this grant, Red Bank has received a total of $1,070,627 since 1991. That's a lot of money. So with that preface, we are here tonight to present a grant in the amount of $21,000 on behalf of the Red Bank Saudi Daisy Charitable Foundation for the purpose of funding a small-scale mural project at the Kids Corner restroom building and or a large-scale mural project on the city-owned retaining wall located on Marsden Springs Road across from Food City. We look forward each year to choosing from the list of projects that the city has compiled for consideration. Thank you for allowing us the time to present this grant tonight. Who was it?
Leslie said she wanted.
And Trish and Becky, come on up, and I'm gonna stand over here and get a picture if you don't mind. How about if you're right here, Mayor, and Becky, come on up. This is absolutely spectacular.
It's not a big check, but it's a pretty big check.
It's big on the inside.
You got me jumping out of my chair. Let's see, let me get this back just a little, here we go. Okay, commissioners on the dais, you're in it too, so everybody smile. 1, 2, 3, got it. Thank you.
Thank you so much. All right. Next item is our consent agenda, which contains consideration of the minutes for approval or correction from February 4th work session and our February 4th regular commission meeting. Do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda as published?
I'll move.
A motion from Vice Mayor Barry. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second from Commissioner Wilkinson. Is there any discussion? Any comments by the residents present? Okay, there are no more comments. Let's call the vote. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. We have no unfinished business, so we'll move on to new business. Item A, resolution number 25-1768, a resolution by the Board of Commissioners of the City of Red Bank, Tennessee, to authorize the city manager to sign and enter a memorandum of understanding for the creation of a traffic garden on city-owned property by White Oak Bicycle Co-op for the purpose of providing a controlled learning environment for new bicycle riders for the benefit of the city, citizens, and residents who regularly ride bicycles within the city of Red Bank. Mr. Gravy.
Thank you, Mayor, and sorry that one was a mouthful. I'll try to cut it down a little bit next time. I am excited to bring before you today the resolution you just mentioned, authorizing the city manager to sign an MOU between the city and White Oak Bicycle Co-op, a trusted city partner for the creation of Red Bank's first traffic garden. Again, I have White Oak Bicycle Co-op people here representing. So first of all, thank you for bringing this idea to Red Bank. I think that this is a fantastic learning opportunity for both young and old. So just real quick, a round of applause for White Oak Bicycle Co-op. As mentioned in the work session, for those that don't know, a traffic garden is a scaled down street network where children and new riders alike can practice biking and road safety in a car-free zone. So before you, there are some pictures of examples. Those are not necessarily what we are going to have on the property, but just certain ideas. As stated in the work session, we will leave the design up to the professionals at White Oak Bicycle Co-op, with the city having final approval.
Excellent. Thank you, Mr. Gravy.
Thank you.
Do I have a motion to approve?
I'll move.
A motion from Commissioner Wilkinson. Do I have a second?
I will.
A second from Commissioner Holmes. Any further discussion or questions?
How's it funded?
Yeah, so I'm actually going to bring up Kat real quick from White Oak Bicycle Co-op. The city, as of right now, is not putting any funding into it. We are allowing White Oak to use our space and to be able to program on there. Through the MOU, the agreement is that it will be free for all to use, including during programming. And so Kat can come up and talk about funding for the actual painting of the project.
So in terms of funding, we don't really need much. We actually already have the paint. We already have the applicator in which to put the paint on the surface. We actually got those from the grant from the Tucker Foundation a couple years ago, hoping that a traffic garden would move a little quicker in the city of Chattanooga. And that didn't happen, so we've been sitting on that paint. We will order a stencil kit, which can be found on that traffic garden website that I think Jeffrey referenced earlier. That's $554. I have that in my education budget. That's all we need.
Excellent.
And the City of Red Bank Public Works will help with cleaning that section of the street of all debris and getting it ready to be paint ready, as well as pushing back some of the brush that's growing into the asphalt to make it a safe area for riders. So Kat will come by and let us know that it looks good before they come out and start doing any painting.
That's
And
exciting.
any barriers that we need to close the roads for programming, we already have things like that. We have cones, all the appropriate measures.
Thank you for making this investment in our community, because it will be available for the public to use when you guys aren't using it. So thank you. Vice Mayor.
For the paint that you have, I've been involved with some asphalt murals before. Is it required to like pressure wash the pavement first for better adhesion or anything like that?
It would be nice, but it's not necessary. It's your basic yellow and white striping paint.
And we do plan on giving a good brush over.
Okay. Oh, we do have a sweep sweeper, don't we?
Yes, we do. And
That's pretty handy for that.
we're just gonna quietly go out there and sweep it.
Oh, excellent. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. Any other discussion? Any comments from the residents present? Okay. If there are no more comments, we'll call the vote. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you again. Item B, resolution number 25-1769, a resolution of the Board of Commissioners of the City of Red Bank, Tennessee, authorizing an application to the T-Mobile Hometown Grants Program in the amount of $50,000 toward the installation of a public art Shovel Ready Project. Director Johnson.
Thank you. Yes, when you say T-Mobile, we are talking about the telecommunications organization. This is one of their opportunities to continue to give back and support small towns across the country. They have committed up to $25 million through 2026 toward specific shovel-ready projects. The application that we will be submitting again are dedicated towards projects that will be completed within the next 12 months. So shovel-ready means that there is no acquisition of property, there is no construction of property, nor can you use the funds toward engineering services or towards staff, payroll, those types of things. So it is the desire and intent of the Public Arts Advisory Board to submit this application for the large-scale mural on Morrison Springs Road. If you recall, one of the initiatives of the Public Art Citizens Advisory Board for Red Bank was to identify public spaces for public art installation. I think the mural on Morrison Springs has come up always as a immediate go-to, but my job has also been to push them back to help them be poised and ready for when those opportunities do come along. So it is here. This is a grant, it's a no-match grant up to $50,000, very competitive. They award 25 on a quarterly basis, so that's 100 projects in a year of up to $50,000. So the money does go fast. We do believe it will be competitive, but as we heard earlier, and much thanks to the Red Bank Saudi Charitable Foundation, who has contributed some matching funds towards that initiative. So very appreciative for it, and we'll look forward to submitting that application.
Excellent. Thank you. I see our Public Art Chairwoman is here. Does she have any comments to share or discuss about the mural?
I think she's just
project?
excited like we all are.
Okay. Well, thank you for being here, Ms. Ross. Do I have a motion to approve?
I'll move.
I have a motion from our artist in residence, Vice Mayor Barry. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
A second from Commissioner Fairbanks Harvey. Any further discussion?
Thank you to our Public Art Advisory Board for all the hard work that you've been putting in, and to staff for teeing this up. I hope that we will be very competitive.
I hope so. Like I said, they award them quarterly. So the idea is, if we're not successful this first go around, it's my understanding they do provide feedback. So
Okay.
hopefully if we don't make the first quarter, we might be able to go after it in the
Excellent.
second quarter.
That was my question, so you answered it.
Yes.
Thank you.
I'll pursue until told not to.
Keep going.
Any comments from the residents present? Okay, there are no more comments. Let's call the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Excellent. Is there a deadline on that for this quarter?
March 15th. I will
Okay,
post the deadline.
so coming up. Excellent. Thank you, Director Johnson. Are you staying here because you're on the next agenda item? Item C, ordinance number 25-1272, an ordinance of the Board of Commissioners of the City of Red Bank, Tennessee, to amend fiscal year 2025 operating budget to appropriate donation funding from the Red Bank and Saudi Daisy Charitable Foundation, Inc., in the amount of $21,000 and to accept conditions of the grant award. First reading.
Thank you. As was presented earlier, was a check for $21,000 that they award to various projects of their selection on an annual basis. And I am most appreciative that they did take into consideration what is a non-tangible grant request. This is a first for the foundation to consider. So I do appreciate their vision and their opportunity for us to make something that at the end will be tangible. We'll be able to see it. It will be a physical element. Working with the Public Art Advisory Board, two projects. The small scale project that they are awarding is $7,000. That's for the City Park mural. It is actually on its tail end. The Public Art Board has selected an artist. We did release a formal RFP. And this has been going on, I think, for about 4 months. So it's not instant decisions. So they do take into consideration to cast the net far and wide and gather artists who are interested in this. So we hope within the next, I would say probably 30 days, we should have that artist under contract and we should start seeing some things early spring.
Excellent.
And again, the second project is for what we identify as a large scale. So the remaining $14,000 will be submitted in support of the grant application to the T-Mobile grant to go after to match along with the 50,000.
Because they look at other funding sources.
Yes, one of their key components is to look at those partnerships. Not just one entity doing something, but how do you join the community? Where is your support for small town initiatives?
Wonderful. And that space in particular is a very, visible kind of entrance to our city. So I'm very excited about, beautifying that space, which I think that was a goal for us this past year. So we are making moves in that direction. Thank you. Do I have a motion to approve?
A motion.
Okay, a motion from Commissioner Holmes. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second from Commissioner Fairbanks Harvey. Any further discussion? Any comments from the residents present? Okay, thank you. There are no more comments. Ms. Sheldon, can you please call the vote?
Mayor Stephanie Dalton.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Holly Berry.
Yes.
Commissioner Jamie Fairbanks Harvey.
Yes.
Commissioner Terry Hawes.
Yes.
Commissioner Hayes Wilkinson.
Yes.
Motion carries on first reading. Now is the time for citizen comments from Red Bank citizens on items not on the agenda. Mr. Granum.
Thank you, Mayor. This is the time for citizen comments. Please observe these rules. Comments are limited to 3 minutes or less, and the city recorder will operate a timer. Please respect her direction and conclude any comments if time expires. Comments should be addressed to the board as a whole, not to a particular commissioner, the city staff, or the audience. The commission is here to listen, not to respond or engage in back and forth, so please do not expect a reply during citizen comment. At this time, citizens are invited to the podium. Please begin by stating your name and address.
Okay, if we have no comments, do I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll move.
Motion from Vice Mayor Berry. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second from Commissioner Wilkinson. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Meeting adjourned.
Throwing you guys for a loop this time.
Yeah. Let's have to motion. I'm going to motion to adjourn in the order that we have the
Thank you,
other
Arnold.
children. I was just like, there's so